Was the 8th anniversary commemorating 9/11, 2001. In the spirit of 9/12, the day after the worst terrorist attacks in the U.S. history, when even French newspapers claimed we're all Americans. The French said that. We were united. You remember what it felt like? I remember myself saying, America has changed forever. I knew somehow or another I was wrong at the time, but I hoped we all did. We changed for a brief time, and then somehow or another, in the middle of the night, slowly but surely, we slipped right back into bickering, partisan factions. How did it happen? How did we lose that 9/12 feeling so quickly? Why did we stop going to church? Why did we stop looking at each other as Americans? Instead, we started looking at each other as Republicans and Democrats again. Well, now here we are. We don't trust each other anymore. It's always Republicans versus Democrats, Democrats against Republicans, and independents against both of them. Isn't this what George Washington warned us about in his farewell address? This very moment. Except he didn't envision the media. The media continually is beating that partisan drum. Of my magazine, Fusion, is all about the cancer that is in this country. This is the problem in our country. It is called progressivism. Miracles of miracles, praise Obama. It's the Democrats. I think it's the bickering, the battle, the fight amongst ourselves that keeps us distracted. Our arguments come to, oh, you just hate people. Oh, you're a racist. You're a warmonger. You want to poison people and starve children. This president, I think, has exposed himself as a guy over and over and over again who has a deep-seated hatred for white people or the white culture. I don't know what it is, but this guy is, I believe, a racist.
I really just wanted to thank you for having me over here to wine country. You know, to be invited, I thought I had to be a major Democratic donor, a longtime friend of yours, which I'm not. By the way, I put poison in.
We don't know a single person who wants to do any of those things. So why do so many of us believe that? So why do so many of who's teaching us to believe these things and to behave this way? There is only one simple answer, and both Republicans and Democrats can unite on that. It's our politicians.
In this country, we rise or fall as one nation, as one people. Let's resist the temptation to fall back on the same partisanship and pettiness.
One of the issues we have is the spreading sentiment that capitalism is evil, that redistribution of wealth is a good thing. Anytime you mention the word Marxism or communism, the left now will paint you as some sort of nut job, McCarthyite. Activities called communist. Communists. Communists. I had this idea the other night while I was reading Thomas Jefferson. Man, let's search for the 56 men and women who will help us refound America. We don't need to fundamentally transform it. We need to refound it. All of the work they did, the hard work. Are you smarter than George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Benjamin Franklin? Name one person in Washington that is a bigger brain than Benjamin Franklin. You can't. Most people don't even know who Benjamin Franklin is or what he did or the amazing things he did. You're smarter? The patriots that we're going to find today, the refounders, willing to put their nation ahead of themselves and their party affiliation. Stop, America. Stop right now. Promise, pledge to yourself. I am not going to be a Republican or a Democrat. I may vote for a Republican or a Democrat, but that's not who I am. Start identifying yourself as an American patriot. The GOP, you need to clean up the GOP. Stop telling me about the Democrats. Clean up the GOP. Democrats, clean up the Democratic Party. I know there are Democrats that are afraid right now. I know who has you by the throat. I know. I know. Our lives, our fortunes, and our sacred honor. If we stop talking about policies and legislation passing, and we start talking about corruption, and we demand a total quarantine, we get the Democrats to focus on fixing the Democratic Party, the Republicans to focus on the Republican Party, come out. Find a microphone. Don't worry about the game players, the people who are just going to love their party no matter what. It's too late for those people. Those people who are stuck in the right versus left, forget about them. Move on. Talk to the reasonable Americans. We can't seem to agree on anything anymore. You know, the one thing on which all reasonable Americans can agree on, corruption's bad. It's worse in our own government. Nearly every poll taken for the past several years, number 2 concern on the minds of people, and yet we're not doing anything about it. Let's stop thinking about it. Let's stop complaining about it. You want to talk about health care? Good. Let's talk about health care. After we've cleaned the house of special interest, clean the house on both sides. Get rid of the disease.
Jerusalem, the faithful city, she that was full of justice, has become a harlot.
Coming on Monday, I'm going to show America the way out. I am going to show those in Congress the way to become one of the refounding fathers of